I first became ill in 2003 or 2004, and I was put on a prescription, started experiencing side effects, and I had talked to my family doctor about it, and she kind of just shrugged it off and said, everything, you're fine, those are normal. So I stayed on the prescription for about a year, and it slowly just declined, and she told me that stopping the prescription would cause more damage than, staying on it. The medication that I was given was for a health disorder, and, it was nothing related to psychiatric care or anything like that. It wasn't until I was hospitalized that I was put on any kind of antidepressant, anti-anxiety, psychiatric medication. At one point in time, I was maybe put on 15 different medications just at once, and it started to shut down my kidneys, it started to shut down my liver, and I nearly died while in the hospital at the psych ward, and I knew that it wasn't right. Even though I was going through all of this, that was the one thing that I would fight with everybody about. It wasn't about getting out necessarily, it was that this is not right. You're not listening to me. I was hospitalized for 3.5 months total, and the healing process was much longer, obviously, than just 3.5 months. Most of it was spent at the local hospital here, but I was literally bounced around to, from hospital to hospital, to various wards. And then finally, during my last month and a half stay, I was admitted to the state hospital, which, as you know, it's, really hopeless. Most people that go in never come out. And, being such a, young person, it really terrified me. Being told, like, you're not going to be able to function in society. You're not going to have a job. You're not going to be able to drive a car. You're not going to go back to school. And I'm happy to say that I've done all of those things since my release from the hospital. So, and honestly, the very worst day was being admitted to the hospital and seeing my dad leave down that corridor and hearing that door slam. So it was a tough day, but I pulled through it. My dad has always known that there was a different answer. There's an alternative for everything. And he was just absolutely downright disgusted with the traditional medication and how it had affected me. And he actually stumbled upon it on accident on YouTube and started typing in, alternatives for bipolar disorder, alternatives for this. And sure enough, and he got on the phone that evening and was telling them my story, and I started it, I think a week or two later, and I'm not gonna lie, I was very apprehensive about it because I was lied to and being told, well, if you stop Wellbutrin, if you stop all these medications, you could have seizures, you could have this happen, you could potentially die. And my dad said to me, and I was honestly upset that he wanted to take away this security blanket, in a sense, from me. And I was like, it was honestly cats and dogs fighting about this. I don't want to take this. You don't understand. You've never had to deal with this. And he's like, just give it a try. If it doesn't work, we can go back to this. And I had told my doctors, what I was doing. And of course, they're naysaying the whole thing, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do this. This isn't something that's gonna work for you. You're so far gone that there's no coming back. I started the True Hope program in February, and I was on medication, throughout starting the program, but it took about 5 or 6 months to get completely weaned off of it. And now I'm still taking 15 of the Empower Plus vitamins a day. It was a tough process, because I personally felt like I had, this good versus evil battling within my body. I have True Hope, these Empower Plus capsules working against Seroquel and Wellbutrin. So it was clashing, but, you know, good prevails. You know, having balance and normalcy in my life when I was told that I would never have this. You know, I would never be able to function normally in society. And I proved everybody wrong. I mean, my future is just to maintain a healthy, happy lifestyle. And as long as I can and maintain that, I've done what I need to do. If it wasn't for True Hope, the psychiatric meds would have driven me to commit suicide. And not because I was a suicidal person prior to that, but because it honestly sucked all hope and life out of me. And I did nothing but lay in bed or on the couch and wouldn't get dressed for days, weeks on end. I'm gonna try to say this without crying. And it's not because I'm sad, I'm just so overjoyed that I've found and had somebody help me along the way. It's been incredible.